swaying a little bit, yeah.
Innocent little girls at a Taylor Swift-themed dance party.
Well, this is Australia calling time on social media and the deceptive and harmful design features tethering our children to their platforms, gamifying it through endless scroll and snap streaks and autoplay, sending them down dangerous rabbit holes. You know, it's built into the system to keep stickiness through outragement. So the reason the Andrew Tates of the world and the online misogynists are getting so much traction is because the system is built to promote that kind of outrage.
So the US is a big question mark with all this. There's a big free speech kind of component.
We have young Australians who have literally taken their lives as a result of accessing these platforms. So when their lawyer yells back at us about, do you know about free speech? Well, do you know that we actually have laws, and we expect any company that is providing services in Australia to abide with our laws. And so that's another thing that's very interesting to me, this whole concept of technological exceptionalism. There is no other consumer-facing industry in the world where we don't expect them to make sure that there are safety standards.
Of AI chatbots. So in March, all of these, I think the harms could be much more catastrophic, and we won't be able to put that genie back in the bottle.
Nothing that we do here in Australia undermines the freedom of speech of Americans, while the tech giants are extracting our citizens' data and commodifying our kids, and which is why we have these expectations of safety. Nothing that we do here prevents American platforms from showing anything they want.
That they're safe. You know, we don't import medicines or medical devices until they're out. You know, it's built into the system to keep stickiness through outragement. So the reason.
And this is where I hear from the parents and the activists and everyday people in America. We wish we had an e-safety commissioner like you in America. We wish we had a government that was going to put tween and teen safety before technology profits.
It's going to happen at the House level. But I'd also say that nothing that we do here in Australia.
Right. Well, I mean, we've tried to be flexible and pragmatic in our approach, and it will be firm when it needs to be. And of course, the fine is $49.5 million. In my experience, after 22 years in the technology industry and 9 years as a technology regulator, sometimes it isn't the regulation itself that is the impetus for doing the right thing. It's often the reputational damage and the undermining of trust with the public. And in Australia, the trust in the technology sector is very low.
To the social media delay that we're implementing, we've been operating for 10 years, based abuse. And then we have systemic powers called the codes and standards.
But I think one of the reasons they push so violently back against this policy is because it directly goes to revenue. And there are 2.5 million 8 to 15-year-olds in Australia. Before this policy came through, or other policies across Europe, for instance, the companies have had, we know 84% of 8 to 12-year-old Australians had a social media account last year. So even with the age being 13, we know the preponderance of young people have been online. So they can no longer turn a blind eye.
시대를 선도하고